Hi, and welcome to this week's weekly RV report for Friday, August 22nd, 2025. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate the support. As always, if you're new to the podcast, please do like, subscribe, and share. Helps the channel grow and others to gain in the knowledge you're currently being afforded. As you know, as a disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor or a guru, nor does this constitute financial advice, merely quality information for you to use for your own personal discernmental authority. That being said, we got a lot to cover as usual, so let's begin. And I'm going to start with the first articles here of many. This refers to the nation of Iraq. The CBI has reported a decline in issued currency, contributing to lower inflation rates and supporting price stability. And then this next article here. Meanwhile, the CBI is reporting a significant increase in gold reserves up to 55%. Now, remember that President Trump has given them until the end of this month, which is next week, to get their currency and global banking reforms up to snuff. Otherwise, major consequences in the form of more tariffs and possible attacks will ensue. More on that later. This goes a long way in explaining why Iraq is suddenly motivated to complete the process of returning to the international stage. And I would like to show you, in the spirit of that, another article that supports this nicely, as you will see in a moment. Central Bank Governor Ali Alak. We are witnessing highly fluid external transfers of all major currencies. So they're telling you that they're being forced in their hand to reinstate their currencies, and that's coming up the rear vis-a-vis the aforementioned items. Okay, now I want to go to the next slide for you. Bear with me a moment. Okay. That's not the one I wanted. Okay, well, we'll start with this. So with cryptos, there's a downward trend on cryptos at the moment, but this is explained by investors taking profits at the top, as well as naked shorting that occurs behind the scenes. Additionally, without interest rates being lowered at present, this hurts the economy in the short term. But as all of you savvy patriots and investors know, this is just merely another buying opportunity to buy the dips. We are going to have a historic bull run sometime this fall. I'm not predicting a date, just saying it's coming. Even some of the correct prophets have been saying such. And Kim Clement, of course, God rest his soul, late great Kim Clement, said they will fall in the fall, referring to arrests, resignations, highly embarrassing moments, and of course, leading to the prosperity. Once the interest rates start getting lowered in September, we believe, but the cryptos and the stock market will absolutely soar. So here you see on bar chart on X, U.S. Treasury is buying back $4 billion of its own debt, one of the largest buybacks in history. They're basically eating themselves out of the Fed. It's just another indication or marker of that. And continuing with some of the other news, we'll call this, we see here Fed Chair Jerome Powell prepares for a high-stakes speech today, as of this broadcast, Friday. And one of his final appearances at Jackson Hole, Wyoming, under mounting pressure from the White House to lower interest rates. And here's another article that complements that on Reuters. You can see Powell says rates may need to be cut, but Fed to proceed carefully. So he's vacillating. This is all part of the narrative. He said he wasn't going to cut it because the powers that be above the cabal are telling him not to. They want the economy to fail. We know it's not going to happen. This is a narrative, but Trump is going to continue to put pressure as two of his Fed underlings, Cook and others, are going to basically step down, which will lead to Powell's optical firing, right? But he has until May of next year. Don't believe for a second we're waiting until May. The economy would be in absolute shambles. It's already problematic right now. It's only going to get worse 9 months later. He's not going to let that happen, meaning President Trump. He's basically going to fire or sack him, as it were. And I had another article on this, which I will show you in a moment. And here's the article I was talking about that supports that. According to the Epoch Times, interviews to replace Fed Chair Powell to start after Labor Day. That's less than 2 weeks away, folks. We're on the 22nd. Look how fast it goes. Can you believe it? Sometimes I can't either, even though I know we're shifting through time cycles and calendars and we're crisscrossing timelines. It still amazes me after all these years. So there's 11. 11 is the number of agreements biblically. Candidates available for the position, but I think we know that Judy Shelton is clearly going to be the front runner for that. I'll be very excited to see that accordingly. Now, let's go to some other articles here. Marjorie Taylor Greene in the Senate is talking openly about abolishing property taxes. This is more narrative to remove the Fed. This is not for us, this is for the public. And here's another article that supports that, which is exciting. Let's see here. Here we go into the leading report, Texas to move to eliminate property taxes, according to State Rep Brian Harrison. Well, Texas, as we know, is going to lead the constitutional republic, per our friend Sandy Mirarecki, on said true republic. And this is going to lead to other states following, starting with Tennessee. You remember the 1801 gold and silver connection as a trading instrument that is still in play. So watch for Tennessee and many of the great red states to follow. Way to go, ladies and gentlemen, out in those winning red states. Here on the crypto side, just to cover that, Federal Reserve dropped supervision program that targeted cryptos, digital ledger technology. So this is another noose or linchpin coming off of cryptos, which complements what we were just talking about with respect to the bull run. Very, very exciting indeed. Okay, let me see if I have any other things I need to show you, and I do. Okay, so now I'm going to go to a couple of videos that we have remaining. President Trump talking about with respect, according to Nabil Abdullah, Iran faces toughest stance to date. When asked if President Trump would bomb Iran again, he said, of course. Who's he going to use that to do that? Israel. Who's he dealing with right now in the next 2 weeks? Russia, Ukraine. Get that peace deal up. Then he turns his attention most likely to China, Taiwan. It's great for the North and South Korean won to merge, we believe, sometime next year. Okay. So, put that in your bucket for round 2, if you will. His demands: surrender of all nuclear materials, zero uranium production, full access to inspections, no room for maneuver. Okay, now another article just came out at the time of this recording, so I don't have time to post it, but I'll read it to you thusly. So according to the White House, on August 21st, the U.S. blocked revenue from Iranian regime used to fund terrorism ahead and oppress its people. We put this in our Telegram, by the way, so you can go view that. You can view our Telegram channel and the link in the description if you're not already joined. We put copious amounts of good information there on a daily basis. Great team we have. The Department of State sanctioned 2 China-based crude oil and petroleum terminal operations that enabled the import of millions of barrels of illicit Iranian oil on board U.S. designated tankers. This is the department's 4th round of sanctions on China-based operations, which play a key role in Iran's oil trade that fuels terrorism and destabilizes the region. So he's crippling Iraq's big brother in Iran, which will bring up the things seem at their worst, Kim Clement, I will free my people. So here is the video thusly.
Decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with these numerous policies and those that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis, including birthright citizenship, ending sanctuary city funding, suspending refugee resettlement, freezing unnecessary funding, stopping federal taxpayers from paying for transgender surgeries, and numerous other priorities of the American people.
Okay, so there's that one. And then there is, we're going to play a video at the end. So we talked about Iran. We addressed it as we said we would. But let me get to the precious metals commodities. And we have one other insight video to give you some encouragement and a vision of what we and our team saw some time ago, which we think was very apropos for the time we're in today. So as to the precious metals commodities at the time of the broadcast, silver is, let me get out of this here for you. Time of the broadcast, silver is trending at $38.62. It's moving up. Gold is moving back up to $34.20.90. Crude oil trading at $63.34. And the Dixie dollar index is just up slightly to 98.60. And here is our time of broadcast so that you can see for posterity, as we typically do, just so you have that. We get the question all the time, are we there yet? Are we there yet? When? But the anxious people, first of all, slow down. This is a process. That's why we don't do dates and rates, puzzle pieces, God's prophetic word, and timely events. It's not one, it's all of them. Some of you have commented it's this or that. No, it's all 3. So there you have it. We're not there yet, but we're getting much, much closer by the day. Very encouraging for where we are. That does it for this week's RV report. As always, any breaking news, we will bring it to you as quickly as possible. We're not going to have a report next week because it's the Labor Day holiday, one of the last holidays before the major, quote, holidays come up. And of course, we will bring breaking news as it comes. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. God bless. Have a safe and posthumous weekend and upcoming Labor Day. Take care. Goodbye for now.